Dear friends, welcome to the Wednesday Word on Wednesday the 15th of March. Here are some verses from Luke chapter 11 that I shared at the prayer meeting on Monday evening. Then Jesus said to them, "Suppose you have a friend and you go to him at midnight and say, 'Friend, lend me 3 loaves of bread. A friend of mine is on a journey, has come to me, and I've got no food to offer him.' And suppose the one inside answers, 'Don't bother me. The door is already locked and my children and I are in bed and I can't get up and give you anything.' I tell you, even though he won't get up and give you the bread because of friendship, yet because of your shameless audacity, he will surely get up and give you as much as you need. So I say to you, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks the door will be opened." Now this little parable is often used to encourage us to keep on praying when we don't get immediate answers to our prayers. We're to be like the householder who's shameless in waking his neighbour up when he needs bread, and to be persistent to keep on pleading with God for answers to our prayers, especially when we don't get answers immediately. For our health or a relationship crisis or a problem in our job or in our family. And persistence in prayer is certainly part of the message of this parable. But last week I listened to a sermon which opened my eyes to a rather different meaning to this parable. This is a story not so much about us being persistent in prayer for our needs, but persistent in prayer so that the needs of our neighbours are met. In the ancient Near East, there was a high premium placed on hospitality. If a friend turned up unexpectedly in the middle of the night, you wouldn't say, "Oh look, McDonald's is open 24/7, you can go and get a meal there, and the Travel Lodge is the cheapest place if you need a room for the night." No, you had a sacred duty to provide food and a bed for your friend. It would have been deeply shameful if you didn't. So when this friend turns up on this man's doorstep in the middle of the night, he has to provide for him. But the problem is that he hasn't got anything in the fridge or in the larder. So he goes round to his neighbour, wakes him and his children up, and demands that he gives him some bread despite his neighbour's protestations. Now, we are in a similar position to the householder when it comes to our friends and our neighbours and their needs. It's not so much about our needs, but theirs. Many of our friends have huge needs. Those who are not Christians need the gospel. Those who are Christians need encouragement, help with difficult problems they're facing. Members of our families have needs. Members of our church have massive problems, let alone the needs of wider society and our world. And we have a sacred duty to meet those needs. It's overwhelming when we begin to think about all the needs that we know about. What are we to do with overwhelming needs and our lack of capacity to meet them? Well, we're to be like the householder. We're to go to God, who has all the provisions to meet every need, and to ask him to give us what we need to meet the needs of our friends and family and church family. We're to be shameless and audacious in asking God to give us what we need. We're not asking God to meet people's needs directly, but to give us what we need so that we can be the answers to our prayers. And at the end of the little parable, Jesus gives us the most wonderful assurance that he will give us what we need. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be opened. But this parable goes even deeper than this. Because we're not only the householder who needs provision for our friend, we are also the friend who needs to be provided for. We are in deep spiritual need, all of us. And many of us have physical needs as well. How is God going to meet our needs? Well, he might provide for them directly, but he's more likely to provide for them through our friends who are praying and providing for us. So this parable shows us how God involves all of us, both in providing for the needs of people we're praying for and in providing for us through others. So our needs and the needs of our friends are met within the community of the church. God bless you today.